The world, Chuck. Everything you've ever loved. Everything you see.
So it has been a little while since we've seen you on screen. So it was making me wonder, had there been other opportunities to return to the big screen in recent years? And if so, what made Life of Chuck different?
It's really all about Mike Flanagan. That's it. My whole family was we're huge Mike Flanagan admirers, and we met socially, and he said, "Hey, why aren't you working?" And I said, he said, "Well, what if I offered you something?" I said, "For you, I'd do anything." And he offered it to me. So that's, kind of daunting and amazing.
A little bit of an unfair question, but now I can't help but ask, because you said you're a big fan of his work. Do you have a single favorite Mike Flanagan directed show or film?
It's hard because my whole family, me and my kids, my husband, but I think Midnight Mass is maybe one of the most perfect things I've ever seen on television. I really do. I tell everyone to watch it. I think it's one of the most perfect things. I feel like it actually helped me in my life, like in terms of thinking about death. And I don't know. I think he happens to be an incredibly wonderful man. And I think, as a creator, that comes out, his heart and his humanity and his sweetness. And I think it's brilliant.
I totally get that. I'm also a big believer that Life of Chuck is going to wind up helping people in different respects, but the way that this movie looks at life and the echoes in it is pretty incredible and inspiring.
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, I know so. So that was your first impression of Mike based on having met him socially and seeing his work. What about when you were actually on set filming this movie? What is something that is maybe one of a kind about a Mike Flanagan run film set? Okay,
here's an extraordinary thing that I'd never seen before, which I think is amazing. Before every scene, Mike, he has everybody come on set. Everybody, all the grips and all the guys outside hanging around outside in the craft service and everything. Everyone is invited if they can fit into the set. And Mike tells them the story of what the scene, where the scene is in the film, why it's important. And he tells the story. And I've never seen anyone do that. And it was just such a fantastic thing because everyone there feels connected to what's going on. And you felt like an actor, you're not like this, this person like having to spin around in front of a camera. You just felt like, everyone's with me. We're all together doing this. And I think anyway, that really, I'd never, in all those years, I never saw anyone do that. And it was wonderful.
He's the king of building filmmaking families. And I'm a big believer that that particular thing contributes to that big time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's confident. I'm not so confident. So, I was just saying, Mike, just promise me I will not let you down. Just don't let me let you down. And he's so confident. And also because he's an editor, he knows when he has what he needs, which is fantastic.
Given the fact that you just said you didn't have a ton of confidence going into this, can you tell me what specific thing you were most nervous about with this role and how Mike helped boost that confidence and helped you crush it in the end?
It's been so long. It's just been so long. And I feel like this role, it was important because, that this relationship is just very central and important. It's sort of like this heart space. Me and Mark are this like very hard space. And I wanted to convey that. Which was not difficult because I have to tell you, Benjamin is adorable. He's just such a wonderful kid. My gosh, he's a wonderful kid. So I had kind of instant love with him and Mark. So really, wasn't that hard, but Mike just kept saying, I got it. It's fine. I got it. So I'm just gonna trust him.
So you just brought up Mark and Benjamin. So I'll go to your scene partners next, because one of my absolute favorite things is how an actor can find so much about their own character through the other actors playing their family members. So can you tell me a little something about Mark and Benjamin that helped you reach something in Sarah that you might not have been able to find without them?
The first minute I met Benjamin, I was going to a rehearsal studio because we did, days and days of dance rehearsal. He literally ran up to me and threw himself into my arms. He threw himself into my arms. And he was so excited to meet me. And I just, I just fell in love. He's just, his energy and his enthusiasm and his sweetness and his intelligence and his kindness. It's all real. I mean, he's a very, very good actor, but what you see on screen in terms of his soulfulness, that's him. That's him. So that was great. And Mark is so funny. He's just so funny. I mean, we just wish we had more. We just wanted more. We loved it. And I kept reaching for his hand. He said, "That's good. You're holding my hand." I'm like, "Yes, come on. We've been together a long time." I wanted to cuddle him, and he's adorable. He's Mark Hamill. Oh my God. I grew up in the 70s. It was the greatest thing on the planet.
The fact that he's now part of the Flana family makes me so happy, because I feel like even though I've been a fan, as long as I've ever lived, I'm seeing so many new layers of his ability as an actor. And with each project he does with Mike, my mind is blown further. Totally. And he goes for it. He's just impressive and inspiring. I think he's so good in the movie. Oh, without doubt. Yeah, it was kind of like a dream come true, really. I love it. All right. Personal question inspired by what happens in this movie. So we see Sarah's influence echo through how Chuck dances. Who is your Sarah when it comes to your approach to your work as an actor? Is there someone you encountered early on in your career whose techniques kind of stuck with you and maybe even carried all the way through to making Life of Chuck? Tim Curry. I feel like that vibe works really well with the Stephen King of it all. It makes me very happy. I was very young, and Tim was he was so funny and so broad and so daring. And yet he was just so lovely to everybody, and he could just go all the way out there but yeah, he was such a solid guy. I mean, the best compliment my husband has ever given me is when he told me, "You're kind of like Tim in this," so, or not in Life of Chuck, but I just think Tim is, it was my first film. So that's another thing, but he really impacted me. Totally get that. Love that answer. And the movie. Sincerely, huge congratulations. You're just absolutely phenomenal in it. Thank you.